What's up, everyone? Welcome to S&J Sports Talk. Here at my co-host Stanley. How's it going today, man?
My brother, it's going well, man. It's a beautiful day, man. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So, yeah, guys, real quick, we're just going to keep this real short for y'all, man. About a half an hour or so. NBA, March Madness, guys, and that's it. We're just going to cover that real quick, you know what I'm saying? It's Monday,
Yeah.
maybe Tuesday by the time you
March
hear this.
Madness. It's the last day of March Madness today.
Last day of March Madness today, you know, and that's basically it.
Hey, and before we get into the topics, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you like this video. We appreciate everybody for liking the video. Hope you all got a chance to check out our last video. We did a live last time. We just tested that out to see how does it go when we go live. And one thing we like about the lives is you all will be able to chat with us back and forth, and we'll be able to actually answer and respond to some of your questions and comments while we're actually on the podcast. So make sure to follow us and subscribe if you haven't already.
Turn that notification bell on.
Turn on the notifications.
When we go live.
And when we go live, we're going to let you all know on our Instagram page, S&J Sports Talk as well.
Yeah.
We'll let you know in our stories on there or on Twitter, S&J as well, so that, you know, you all can definitely tune in when we go live. Mm-hmm. So it would be nice to go live during this championship game tonight. What's your thoughts, brother? We got NCAA March Madness. How are you feeling about NCAA March Madness? Have you got a chance to watch the games? Are you liking what you see? Have you had a fun March Madness?
I'm liking what I see. It's great competition, you know. That's all you can really ask for or whatnot. I think one of the most frustrating the most frustrating thing about this March Madness is you see it's all the time. It's like they're down by 2 or 3 points and they don't get a shot off. It's like, you know what I'm saying, the ball gets tipped or something. Before you know it, the times ran out and no one gets a shot off. I mean, that's the most frustrating thing. But other than that, man, it's been some good games.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times.
It'd be tough. It's like you didn't even get a shot off.
You worked hard this whole year, all the playoffs. It comes down to one final shot. You're running down the court. All you need is a 2 to tie, a 3 to win, and you go up and you dribble the ball off your foot. It's like, what? Like, everybody, the whole crowd is watching. Your fans are there. Your family are there. Your cousins brought tickets. Everybody's there. All you gotta do is get the shot off. At least if you miss the shot, they're like, man, it came down to the final shot. But when you don't even get the shot off, it's like it didn't even come down to the final shot. This team just wasn't disciplined. And it's happened a couple of times in the March Madness. But we've also seen some great game winners. Like the men's game in the Final Four, San Diego State. He hit that game winner, man. Mm-hmm. And I thought he stepped out of bounds. When I watched it, I was like, oh, he stepped out of bounds. And they replayed it and they showed he was almost out, but he didn't step out.
It's amazing the refs don't see that.
A ref might have called it had he saw it.
Yeah.
Because that's how close it was. I mean, it was close.
That was a reviewable one.
It was definitely very close. And especially on a game like that to go to the championship, I know people wanted that reviewed. So, but they showed it on ESPN and they showed it on the highlights and they replayed it, slowed it down. That was a great shot, though. Kind of reminded me of Jordan's shot. Just the angle that he shot from. Jordan shot in college when he hit it for North Carolina.
Okay.
It wasn't like they just passed it to him, but the angle he shot it from, the corner angle, his elevation, beautiful aim, hit the shot. Now everybody knows who Lamont Butler is.
Yeah.
So they're going to be looking for him to play tonight.
They're going to be seeing him. They're going to be seeing him tonight.
Yeah.
Against UConn. Who, real quick, what are your thoughts on that game, real quick? UConn versus San Diego State.
Real talk, with that game, UConn's been looking like a tough team. Everyone's talking about how they're beating everybody by 15 or 20. Mm-hmm. But San Diego State's repping for California. So we messing with California and San Diego State. Beautiful San Diego, West Coast, California. We rooting for San Diego over here. How about you, brother? You look like an East Coast brother to me.
Nah. I'm rooting for San Diego too.
East Coast, brother.
Of course, I'm a San Diego State too. You know what I'm saying? But I heard UConn's a tough team also. But I am just rooting for San Diego State. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're in California.
UConn has them tall big men, but I think
that's
San
what I
Diego
heard.
State
San Diego State
match them.
They're gonna be able to match them, but I don't know, man. I'm rooting for, like I said, I'm rooting for San Diego State. I don't know if they'll come out on top.
Yeah,
but
yeah, definitely. Definitely. San Diego State. There was someone who I knew from high school out here, knew him mutually, and he went to San Diego State and played basketball there. Kawhi Leonard went to San Diego State.
Yep.
Played basketball there. So yeah, there's been some people from San Diego State.
There's been some good ones
have come through here. But yeah, it'll be a great game. What do you all think? Who's winning that game?
It's not gonna be like the NCAA college football game.
Oh no! Hopefully it's not.
Not gonna be 65-7.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not no blowout like that.
Yeah.
But it'll be a good game. But let's talk about this girls game, the girls championship game. Did you get a chance to watch it?
Iowa versus LSU. I didn't really get a chance to watch that one.
You boycotting the women's basketball, brother? Let me tell you something about him right here. He don't really be supporting the women's basketball. I always be telling him, we need to talk about the women's basketball, the WNBA. He's like, don't nobody want to hear no WNBA, nothing. I was like, brother, we got to support. I like basketball, so I just want to watch basketball. And this brother over here, he's on that. We don't mess with the women. They can't hit layups and stuff.
No. Hold on.
Explain yourself,
brother. Let me explain myself real quick.
We're going to lose all of our female listeners.
Let me explain myself real quick. I said, I just like seeing straight competition. All right, so I don't have no problem watching women's basketball if it's good competition. I don't know where you said I don't mess with the WNBA or the women's basketball at all, bruh. So I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was just caught at work that day.
You were caught at work?
I was caught at work that day. But yeah, nah, man. You know we've been talking about.
Well, it was a competitive. It was competitive Final Four.
I bet it was.
LSU playing, or Iowa playing South Carolina was a competitive game.
I mean,
and LSU even playing Virginia Tech was a competitive game.
Hey, even when you do try and watch women's games, they always get in fights.
Yeah, that's something we've noticed. I've been sending him videos this year, all year, of just different women's college games and the fights that break out. So it's more fights in college women's than there is in men's college.
Yeah.
You don't really see the men's college get in fights too much. You see it. There's some scuffles or whatever, but it seems like them NBA players, them college players know, hey, I'm trying to go to the pros. I'm trying to get to the point where I make millions. And for the lady college players, it's not like when they go to the WNBA, they about a life-changing money, millions. It's a different, I think that's the difference is those girls playing in college,
they're only about to go make 6 figures.
That's almost a prime time. Is your college. Like the attention you get if you're on a good team in college is different than even the attention you get in the WNBA.
You're right. They might get more attention in the college than the WNBA.
Right.
I've heard, I mean, why do you think that is though? I've heard people say that the college women's basketball gets in more, they get more fights because they're not making as much as the men. So, like, they're going only making $100K, $200K a year.
And these girls are getting the real fights.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was sending him videos all year. There's a YouTube channel I follow where they just highlight all the time these little altercations and fights. And it's like, why are these girls fighting more than the guys? And I guess that's just the way, when they bring out their aggression, it's like, yeah, we don't turn it off. When we aggressive, we don't turn it off. I think men kind of know, like, okay, we might be aggressive or whatnot, but we don't need to start swinging or whatnot. Because if a man swing, like, you get suspended off site. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, in college basketball, they gonna suspend you either from the school or the NCAA.
Hey.
And so, but we watched a great game, LSU versus Iowa. Well, before we get into that game, let's talk about the Iowa versus South Carolina game. South Carolina was undefeated this year. They lost Caitlin Clark. If y'all haven't heard her name yet, then you just haven't been watching basketball. Caitlin Clark, great player. She's coming down there shooting from the logo. She's shooting on the run. She's running full speed, stop, shoot. She's still going with her momentum, shoot, score, nothing but net. I think the last 2 games, the Elite 8 and the Final 4, she scored 41 points in both games.
Wow.
One of the games was a triple-double. No one's ever done something like that.
And a lady from Iowa, right?
A lady from Iowa.
Caitlin
Clark. Yeah. Caitlin Clark. So, she's been balling out.
She's basically been carrying the team on her shoulders.
They beat South Carolina. South Carolina was undefeated this year. Shout out to South Carolina, Coach Don Staley, Leah Boston, all those players. They were trying to play her man-to-man, straight up, woman-to-woman, one-on-one. And she was schooling them. She had 41 of the team's 77 points.
Wow.
The whole game I was watching it, I was saying you have to, like, since the first quarter, I think the end of the first quarter, I said you're going to have to double-team her because you can't let her run the game. She's the only one on the team. The whole team is feeding off of her. So you got to shut her down. I don't care if another person's wide open for a 3. Let them be wide open for a 3 20 times.
Yeah.
It's better than letting Caitlin Clark control the offense. And they just played her one-on-one the whole game, let her get to her spots. They jogging around playing her on defense. I said, there's no... And South Carolina still was close. I guess that was their game plan to, hey, let her have her way and we can beat her as a team. But she schooled her, man. She was going to do a right-hand layup, step-back threes. I was like, oh, my goodness.
You said a very important thing is control, right? You let her get control of the game, right? It's like you can't let a star player get control of the game. So you got to double-team them. Or you got to bring pressure from, like, different angles or whatnot. I'm not saying you got to double team the whole time, but maybe once she gets the ball, you double team and then sag off or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make it tough for her to at least get the ball and whatnot. But if you're saying, they're just playing her man to man or whatnot, she's just gonna pick apart that player's defense.
I would have played a boxing one with her.
Boxing one?
I would have done a boxing one, an extended boxing one. And then, because Iowa wasn't a huge threat down low. They weren't a huge threat down low. They had one big girl who was solid.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of big
but they didn't have a lot of bigs the way South Carolina did. So what I would have done was played a boxing one. You have one person always stay with her. And then whatever side of the court she goes to, that other person in the box doubles her. You always doubling, and so then the other three players, they end up kind of forming a triangle behind the two who are double teaming. But there always needs to be a double team on her, even when she doesn't have the ball. When she's running around, you have two bodies on her. You have two bodies on her, no matter who in the box, wherever she's going on that box. You double her.
You make it tough.
I'm not trying to question Coach Dawn because I know she's a great coach, championship coach, 2-time champion. I just didn't understand why they weren't doubling her. Maybe they underestimated how good Caitlin Clark was. But I saw her, and in the first quarter, she was already on fire. So I said, she's going to be on fire all game. If you're on fire from the start, it doesn't matter what happens the rest of the game. It doesn't matter if you have a missing 5 shots straight. You start off on fire. You know it's your night. So I think they could have beat Iowa. I would have loved. The reason why I said it is I would have loved to see South Carolina
they were undefeated.
play LSU.
Yeah, they were undefeated.
I would have loved to see that game. I thought that game would have been more competitive. But it was fun, man. Seeing Iowa play, they're competitive. It's fun. Caitlin Clark makes the game fun to watch as a player.
She did. I saw her last week. She was pretty good.
The way she plays makes the game fun to play, and LSU makes the game fun to play. Them girls are so passionate and emotional. I thought they were too high emotion in their Elite 8 game. And when I say too high emotion, I meant like I thought they weren't able to. They were letting their emotions cause them to mess up. Some of them were fouling out the game, doing bad fouls.
Utah almost beat them, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, y'all is gonna lose this game because you're not controlling your emotion. You have to always be self-disciplined with it.
They was able to win the game though.
They won the championship, man.
They won.
What you think, man? What'd you see from LSU this year? What'd you see from that championship game? The championship game they ended up playing Iowa. Talk to us about that.
I didn't really catch championship game.
I forgot.
I said, I didn't really catch.
Watching the
I didn't catch that game, but I mean LSU. I've heard the good things about them, whatnot. But you go ahead and talk about that one.
Did you see Did you see at the end of the game? LSU pretty much dominated the whole game against Iowa. Caitlin Clark, I think she
how
was
they do against Caitlin
something.
Okay.
Yeah, they just seem to
they're
more in your face. They seemed more in your face than South Carolina.
Yeah, from what I saw though, from the highlights and whatnot, it seemed like Caitlin Clark. It was like she was still doing her thing, but she wasn't making as many shots. So it's like, alrighty, she didn't really have that extra help with her team. That's from what I
LSU
saw.
was on fire yesterday. Okay, LSU had a girl coming off the bench hitting threes like out of nowhere.
They were a more well-rounded team.
She had like 5 threes in the first half. So everybody was hitting. So it's just one of those nights where everybody's on fire.
Yeah, that's what they needed last
everyone,
night.
Caitlin Clark. Everybody is the media is all rooting for her now. The whole state of Iowa, the media, they're all supporting her. I heard one person on the media. They were on there. Oh, this game was just so tough to watch. And I'm like, the media's not really supposed to be biased. The media's supposed to just tell you what happened in the game.
Yeah.
They obviously are showing that they wanted Caitlin Clark and Iowa to win.
Yeah. Which
is fine. Go ahead and root for her or whatever. But now they having to come at LSU like, LSU, mad. They mad LSU won. But shout out to LSU.
Both teams deserved it, though,
Yeah. Right. What do you think at the end of the game? Angel Reese, the star on LSU, she ran up to Caitlin Clark and she was like, She was basically saying like, you can't see me, and pointing to her ring or whatever. Or I don't know if it was a flip off or whatever she was doing, but they're like, oh, she was taunting her. She was taunting her. Now I've seen Caitlin Clark in the game against South Carolina. That girl was at the 3-point line and she's raving her off like that girl ain't got no shot. Like that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you can't hit the shot, you can't hit the shot. But what do you think?
Look,
you think that's too much at the end of the game?
You're able to do a little more when you're the best player on the team. Mm-hmm. What I want to know is, was the LSU girl talking while they were losing? You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan said, it's easy to talk when you're up, but when you're down, can you still talk and whatnot?
Right.
Same thing with Caitlin Clark. But I will say, man, Caitlin Clark, she's probably going to be one of the best players in the WNBA if she decides to go to WNBA and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And the LSU girl is she's gonna see Caitlin Clark again. So she's gonna remember how you treated her.
I was gonna say the same thing, man. When someone's that much better than you, like you can talk mess, you just do your little stuff. But she went all in her face and everything. And hey, if that's the way Angel Reese will do her thing, let her do her thing. She won that game. That's her moment. But you're gonna be seeing Caitlin Clark for the next 10 or 15, and
the WNBA,
and she's gonna be ready to get back at you, you know, more vicious. So you just remember that. Keep the same energy all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was too much because you know that's how they're playing. And if Caitlin Clark would have won the game, she would have been, you know what I'm saying, the star of the year. They would have been Max McClung her. They would have been making her the new face of basketball in general. You know, and so shout out to her. It's great to see her play, and I like her style of play. But it's also tight. It was also tight to watch LSU play, man. High energy, high passion. If you're a girl and you're watching basketball, I'm sure that style of basketball has to be entertaining.
Good competition, you know.
See those girls play like that. For me as a guy, it's entertaining to watch that style of basketball, and I hope it doesn't end. I hope that WNBA can transfer and get some of that energy. The difference between WNBA and college basketball, college basketball teams have a fan base. They already have a fan base. All the students are already supporting that team. Same with the NBA too, yeah. The WNBA, these cities don't have their city behind them. Mm-hmm. Do you feel what I'm saying? Their city's not like, man, we all go to the WNBA game. But a college, they're like, hey, we're all going to the basketball games tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they have a fan base. People know the people on the court in college. So it's like they want to support so-and-so. I got a class with her. I got a class with him. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was at the colleges I went to. You know, we had classes with all the athletes. You know, we were roommates with the athletes. So you definitely want to see them win and go support their games. Even if you wouldn't go and watch a girls' basketball game normally, or you wouldn't normally go and watch a girls' soccer game or a girls' volleyball game, you wouldn't normally go and watch these things. But when you know the people out there and you see them around campus, you're like, hey, let me go support.
Yeah, that's definitely the difference between the pros and the and college. Even Draymond Green, he talked about it. College is a different atmosphere, just totally than the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's way higher energy and whatnot.
Yeah,
you know?
All those young people all there.
Everyone's young, trying to make it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely different.
You're right. You're right. That's a very interesting difference there. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's that there. So did you say your prediction for the night's game? UConn versus S?
I said I was going for San Diego State.
Going for San Diego? But you doubt. You doubt yourself?
Nah.
You doubt your pick?
I think San Diego.
Put money on it right now, brother. No. Put money on it right now. Who you putting money on right now?
I go with San Diego State.
You putting money on San Diego?
I'm not putting money on nobody. Nobody but myself.
Nobody but yourself. That's cool. Well, yeah, we rooting for San Diego definitely.
Now, who you got?
I'm going for San Diego.
But do you have them winning?
I have them winning.
Okay.
Hopefully it don't come down to no game-winning shot.
But we either both gonna be right or wrong.
Hopefully it's a close game, though. Hopefully it's a close game.
I just hope it's a good game.
I just think UConn seems real coached. They seem like a system. Like they just seem like a
they were kind of running through
system. Yeah, UConn's won it before. They expect to win it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole different school. They got alumni that have come from there.
Whoever can control the game tonight can win. That's gonna be the team that wins. So it doesn't matter if it's like, you know, if it's a close game at the end or whatnot. Whoever's been controlling the game, that's who's gonna win.
I think you're gonna see how they play. Important who starts off on top. If San Diego can start off on top, I don't think they need to play from behind with UConn.
But if they're in control of the game,
yeah,
because we've seen this, you know, the last few weeks and whatnot. You could be in control of the game. You could be down by 5-10 points, and the last 2 or 3 minutes,
Yep.
something just clicks. So you guys just go. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what happened with that's what happened with LSU playing Virginia Tech. They were down by 10 or 9 going into the fourth quarter, and I'm like, oh, this game's over. They went on a 20-3 run.
Mm-hmm.
They used all that emotion and energy and passion and won that game. Came back and won by 10.
Yeah.
You know, so you can use it. College basketball seems like a game of runs. Every team just kind of goes on a run, and then the other team goes on a run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's about the crowd and the energy.
Yeah.
You know? And they're playing out there in Houston, Texas. Shout out to Houston. I don't think that gives anybody more home court advantage. It's kind of right in the middle of UConn and San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
it's gonna be a good one tonight, though.
It will be. And you know what's interesting? How I said San Diego has to start off on top. San Diego has to start off winning the game because, like,
they're the underdogs essentially.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the game, everyone's nervous.
Mm-hmm.
In a big game like this, everyone's nervous. And so everyone's kind of fumbling around, seeing who's going to shoot the first shot, who's got their nerves under control. You're trying to get your nerves under control.
Yeah.
You know, and
right.
I think that when that happens, you kind of it's kind of like who's ready to step up to the plate first and just get things going. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to hit their free throws, calm enough to hit their free throws, not be dribbling the ball out of bounds because you're nervous. So that's going to matter. And I think San Diego State might be able to, they can use some of that momentum of hitting that game-winning shot and going into this game, they can use some of that momentum to their advantage.
Yeah, they don't want to start off under. Mm-hmm. They don't want to start off like that, especially being an underdog team or whatnot.
Yeah,
that could be that you got a good point there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, real quick, let's cover, guys, the new NBA rules.
Oh yeah.
Right. What have you heard? What are your thoughts about that?
A couple of new NBA rules. It's like an agreement between the ownership and the players. And so they got to come to agreements on stuff that the owners aren't liking that are happening, and things that the players aren't liking. You know, they got to respect each other's wishes. And one of the things that came about was in order to be one of the, to be considered in a recipient of an award at the end of the year, you have to play at least 65 of the 82 NBA games. So if you want to be MVP or Defensive Player of the Year or Sixth Man of the Year, one of the requirements now is you had to have played 65 games, which stops a lot of players who they don't want to play certain games because they're resting. So they end up playing only 50 games in a season or 60, and then they get hurt. So what do you think? Do you think that's a fair rule that you have to play at least 65 games? Do you think there should be an exception if you get injured? Like what if you get injured and you only play 60 games, but your 60 games you was the MVP? You're now out of the running because you missed a few games,
I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's pros and cons to both.
Pros and cons
to both. I would say do like something more like 60, but then my thing is like, alrighty, you can look at it like, alrighty, if multiple stars are getting, it's like, alright, if multiple people are getting injured or whatnot, and they're still coming back and still putting out great numbers or whatnot, that's a different thing than if they're just sitting out for low management or whatnot, right? Or for like a back-to-back or whatnot, right? But I would say 65. I would say overall, I think I generally like the rule, right? All right, 65 games, so can't be like taking that much rest off now. And if you have injuries or whatnot, I get it. Injuries are just part of the game, though.
Yeah.
So I get it, and I think it's the fairest fair, right? Because you can't have someone play 60 games. I don't think it's ever happened before, but you can't have someone play 60 games. They get an MVP over someone who's been playing 80 games.
And they've been playing hard that whole.
They've been playing hard the whole.
You have to
putting up good numbers and whatnot. So yeah, I would agree.
You're right.
That's what I would say.
You have to reward someone who's actually showing up to work and play. I try to look at it from a player's perspective though, because I understand the players needing rest. A lot of people were mad at players this year because a lot of players were taking Kawhi Leonard. People were taking games off of. People were taking games off of back-to-backs. Now, my question about this is, what if you're a player like Kyrie Irving, who you're over here getting suspended 8 games for a tweet you tweeted because the NBA can't get their act together, and the ownership don't know what to do, and so they end up suspending you. Now you out of the running for an award. And remember, the awards, you get money for these awards. All these awards, if you win MVP, if you win first team All-League or whatever, you get money and you get there's certain contracts. Like if you win things, now your contract
you get a bonus,
minimum can be Like, okay, you were first team All NBA. Now you qualify for the maximum contract of a shooting guard standard in the NBA. So those things matter, and I think this kind of gives certain teams the ability to be like, okay, he's played 62 games. We're gonna they can pull little slick stuff sometimes. I'm like, who gets to decide all those things? Because it's not just injuries why these players don't get 65 games. They get suspended for tweets and Instagram posts now. So
and
I need some clarity on those rules.
And fights,
And fights, yeah.
Technicals and whatnot. So
aren't getting suspended.
They definitely should do there should be some clarity on those rules and whatnot.
Definitely.
I think one thing they should do is, I'm not sure, I don't think they did do this, but 16 techs has gotta go. Like, if you can't get suspended after 16 techs. That's
and they're giving away like a dumb rule. Nothing, man. They're giving away text for talks.
That's the thing.
They're giving away text for talks. If you talk to the ref, they give you a text.
So the NBA should have two options. They can take away, put it up to like 25 or 30 or whatnot, right? If you get 30 texts in one season, alrighty, yeah, you maybe do something. I don't know. But, or you can still keep at 16, but you got to be more lean with the players now. Like, you can't be tossing them if they throw their mouth guard or something. Like, you can't be doing that. Like,
if you throw your mouth guard into the crowd, you need to be teched up. Maybe
you could be teed up.
If someone throws their mouth guard at me and I'm in the crowd, I don't want Curry's mouth guard at me.
Bruh, I'm saying,
I throw it right back at him. Take this back here. And I don't really want to touch it. I don't even want to touch the mouth guard. I'm like, germophobic.
Nah, they should
I'll be like,
if someone throws a mouth guard, at the crowd, they should be like teed up. But it's not like, I'm not going to eject them out over that.
I'd be staring up, throw him out. I'd be so mad if Curry threw his mouth guard at me. Some people would love it. The mouth guard that Curry threw. They'd be selling that thing on eBay. Now I might collect it and sell it.
Let me tell you what you do. You go to the police station the next morning, fight a little lawsuit, bruh. Get a little papers in.
Say,
you be like, I was assaulted.
So from Sacramento, California, is suing Steph Curry for $8.4 million for injuries that he had.
You don't hear about it 6 a.m. next morning.
Yeah.
Sad.
I'm facing injuries. I developed a rare disease after Curry threw his mouth guard at me. The saliva. Oh man, I've been sick ever since. I'd be on the media. I'd be on the media with a cast on and everything, playing it up.
Can't move my neck to the left.
Hey, I can't even make it to court today. The disease is too bad. Curry, man. $8.4 million, but I'm willing to settle if you want to call me personally. Here's my number and email. Cash App. Oh man, I would be playing up that injury. Matter of fact, don't even eject him from the game. I'd be right after the game. Curry, I'm hurt. Like, we can take this to court and we can settle it real quick.
Yeah, you don't want to go to court, like.
Yeah, nah. I'd be like the cameraman who sued Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the next morning or whatnot. Real quick, man. Let's get So any new things?
But yeah, that's NBA it on rules? The NBA rules that I know. I think there was one more rule that was significant. It was the 65 games, and that's the
there's
only
something not missing, but
yeah. There's one other rule that was significant that it'll come back up. We'll bring it back up. But yeah. So real interesting stuff, man. Let's talk about some of these teams that are trying to actually make the playoffs right now. It's I think 3 or 4 games left in the NBA playoff race. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings. Because they clinched the playoffs for the first time since 2006. Amazing news. I don't know what's happening in the era right now, but Sacramento Kings made the playoffs. Sacramento State women's team made the NCAA tournament. I mean, Sacramento's just... the energy in Sac is wonderful right now.
It's different.
It's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? And so, shout out to the Sacramento Kings. Hopefully they can...
Shout out to Mike Brown for getting us to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doug Christie.
And then, Doug Christie is funny watching him coach because he's been there through some years.
He's been there through the rough patches.
But who would you want to play if you're the Sacramento Kings? Who would you want to play first round? It's either going to be Warriors, Clippers, Lakers. It's probably going to be one of those 3 teams: Warriors, Clippers, or Lakers.
I'll play the Timberwolves.
Or Timberwolves. Nice seed, it could be the Timberwolves. And now, of course, you'd want to play the Timberwolves
the top 10 seeds right now. Out of the top 10 right now, I would want to play. Or even 11, because Dallas just 1 game out. I'll play Dallas, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, or the Pelicans. I don't want to play the Lakers, Warriors, or Clippers, or the Suns.
I think I would play the Lakers or the Timberwolves.
You want to play the Lakers?
I wouldn't want to play the Pelicans. I don't know why the Pelicans scare me so much.
I don't know why they scare you so much either.
The Pelicans scare
the
me.
Lakers scare me more than the Pelicans, man.
And if Zion's playing, they scare me for the Kings. I just feel like the Kings can't handle. I don't feel like they can guard Brandon Ingram. I feel like he's a bad matchup for him. They don't have nobody on that team. De'Aaron Fox, Mitchell, and Monk are too small. They're good defenders. They're too small for him.
Right.
And then Kevin Huerter, don't put him on Brandon Ingram. Sabonis, don't put him on Brandon Ingram. So who are you going to put on Brandon Ingram? Who do the Kings have that you would put on Brandon Ingram? That's my thing.
Harrison Barnes. My brother, you hate on Harrison Barnes. You hate on Harrison Barnes.
Not Harrison Barnes, man. Don't bring Harrison Barnes up. Every time we watch Harrison Barnes, I be telling these guys, this man he be messing up the flow of the game. He just does stuff that's so Harrison Barnes. It's like, what is he doing? Like, he's missing these free throws. He's shooting a three-pointer with Kevin Huerter open on his left and De'Aaron Fox on his right, and he just shoots a three-pointer. So that type of stuff, man, I don't know. I don't know about Harrison Barnes. He does have a championship with the Warriors. It's just his style is so basic to me. It's like there's nothing.
It's basic, but it works for the Kings. That's all I'm saying. It works for the team he's on, man.
I don't know Harrison Barnes personally, so I don't want to talk mess about him personally. He's a good player in the NBA. He has very average stats to me. It's like I feel like he's kind of riding off of that Warriors championship, and I'm like, man, he's cool. He's solid.
He's a solid player. He's a solid
player. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. So maybe you'll have Brandon Ingram on. Maybe you'll have Harrison Barnes on Brandon Ingram, and I think Harrison Barnes will get got on that, but.
Hey, we never know. I mean, listen, but right now, we're set up to play the Warriors or the Lakers. So, I mean, the Warriors are a 6th seed.
You don't want to see the Warriors.
I don't want to see the Warriors.
Don't know about you want to see the Warriors. I bet you right now teams are trying to position themselves outside of the Warriors.
Hey, we'll want
to play the Warriors in
we'll play the Lakers
series.
Before the Warriors, man.
And the Kings definitely don't, because they only about 2 hours away from each other. Man. So they're not even talking about plane rides to each other. They're just catching the bus back and forth. Golden State's going to be at home in Sacramento and Golden State. So that's not going to work out for them. They need to get away from playing the
we can't play the Warriors first round. Yeah. I would settle with the Lakers or something. I don't want to play.
The Warriors might want to play the Kings first.
I do not want to play the Clippers either.
The Warriors might want to play the Kings first round. They're like, oh, we got this. We play the Kings first round.
They might be trying to get Memphis too.
Kings ain't nothing to sleep on, especially with their home crowd. They're still young and make certain mistakes sometimes. That's all.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I mean, we're losing to San Antonio, man.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Yeah, they lost to San Antonio. What do you think about Dallas Mavericks? Are they going to be able to make it? They're one game out of the play-ins right now. They keep losing.
I heard that they were considering dropping Kyrie, or they were considering keeping Luka and Kyrie out for the rest of the season to try and get a top 10 pick. For now.
These teams be changing their narrative so quickly.
They were just talking about winning the chip.
Talking about now we're a championship contender.
Exactly.
They lose a few games. Now they about to sit they start players.
Exactly. Man. But no,
they're gonna fight for that 10 seed.
I think they should fight for it. They're only one game. They're only one game out. I mean, look, get in.
The Thunder could lose another.
You gotta lose. You gotta lose with respect, man.
How
you
many
never know what
left
can happen.
The Thunder have?
Thunder probably like 3 games or something.
Everyone has like 3 to 5 games.
If they got like 3 to 5, if they win like most of their games, they should be good.
Dallas needs to win all their games, really.
Yeah, I still see it getting in there.
Ones. And if they get in, they're getting in at 10, right?
Which would mean they were getting at the 8th seed, which would mean they would play.
Means that they would need to win 2 games to get to the 8th seed.
Yeah, and they would need to play Denver.
And then they would play Denver the first round, so maybe that's what it is. But Dallas just hasn't had time to gel.
Yeah,
they don't have a strong front court.
I've heard that Luka's not doing good under pressure.
I don't think so. I think they're trying to figure out how to. You know what I was just thinking about with Luka? I was just thinking about this. When I'm looking at great players, I look at great players of people who can play in transition. You get the ball, rebound, you pass to him, and they can run all the way and go score. Luka's not that type of player.
Yeah, he's an ISO. Like
Luka has to play a certain style that might not work for the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
it might not work, especially with Kyrie Irving on the team.
Because Kyrie could do the transitioning.
Kyrie can do transition. Kevin Durant can do transition. LeBron would do transition. John Morant can do transition.
Luka's not really
I'm talking about you can get the ball and all of a sudden people need to get back on defense. Mm-hmm. Luka slows the game down. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't always work for every team you play. Some teams you need to be able to get out and run, and it don't seem like Luka's really that get out and run type of player. So I just was noticing that when he's in the game, everyone has to slow down for him, even his teammates. And his teammates might have got the energy and be like, we need to run, like let's go. You know, that half court setting doesn't always work. Mm-hmm. So I know Mavericks are going to go with Dallas, or Mavericks are going to go with Luka. They're going to keep him no matter what. Like that's who they're centering around.
Kyrie's probably gone this year.
Kyrie might be gone. Kyrie might be like, I'm gone before the playoffs.
Kyrie went to Dallas for, we know why he went to Dallas to get out of Brooklyn, and it was a good look on him and whatnot. He don't want to be in Brooklyn. Yeah. I don't blame him either.
Yeah, no. If they missed the playoffs, they're acting like it's because of Kyrie. The rest was tough already. The rest was tough.
They were like, I want to say, what, tops?
They were about 4 or 5.
Yeah, they were 4 or 5, and they got Kyrie, though. So,
yeah,
they got a little something to say.
And then Luka wasn't playing for a while. Kyrie hasn't played. Then they're trying to mix up the lineup. They haven't practiced together. No training camp. So, I mean, you know.
That's true.
You're playing against teams who've been playing together, man. That's why I always say about Milwaukee. Milwaukee been playing together.
That's what I said.
That's why they're scary, man.
They've been playing together. Got Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Giannis. I mean,
they're gonna be Portis,
Portis Jr.
Portis is tight, man. You gotta respect someone who plays. They're gonna
be good. Yeah, they're gonna be good.
Milwaukee Bucks is a huge team. Like Giannis.
They got a lot of role players.
Giannis, Portis, Lopez. That's just a huge, like, even their guards. Their guards are still like Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. Those are like tall people, and
they got a lot of good defenders too.
They're great defenders.
Great defenders, yeah.
So I still like seeing them in Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's okay.
My brother, cool. A Philly fan, he's still with Max McClung.
Nah, man, y'all sleeping on Philly for real.
We gonna see.
Sleeping on Philly.
We gonna see who got MVP. Man. Does Joker get it, or does Embiid get it? 3 games left. Who got?
I mean, I would give it to Joel Embiid, but they're probably gonna give it to Jokic because he's the number 1 seed. So you know they've been the number 1 seed for like a minute now.
They are the number 1 seed.
But I could understand if they go both ways.
Embiid hasn't won one yet.
They should give it to Embiid, but I can see them give it to Jokic.
I wonder who's played the more games this season.
Probably Jokic.
I'm gonna look that up after. I'm gonna look that up afterwards because I want to know who played more games. That would tell me.
Because Joel Embiid was out for a little bit, but not a long time. But he was out. Yeah.
Okay.
But that, yeah.
All right,
it, man.
All right, man. Well, S&J Sports Talk. We wanted to get on here and chop it with y'all. We're gonna get back on here later this week and talk about the upcoming NCAA Finals game, the final men's game. San Diego State, that's who we rooting for over here on S&J.
See how that goes.
Versus UConn. So, put in the chat who you think is going to win that game. We'll get back on here later on, maybe within 24 hours and talk to y'all about that game.
Might even live stream, who knows?
Might even live stream.
Yeah.
Or in a couple days later this week, we'll get back on here and let y'all know. Follow us. Hit that thumbs up button before y'all get up out of here. Anything else we got to say, man?
S&J Sports Talk, all platforms. Go check us out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Y'all already know.
That's right. Y'all have a blessed week. Enjoy them championship games. And NBA play-ins next Thursday.
Peace.
All right. Peace, y'all.